just got better, because season 23 of The View is live. Politically incorrect. Democratic candidate Senator Kamala Harris under fire for her reaction to an audience member's offensive slur against Trump.
Well said.
And frontrunner Joe Biden's latest slip of the tongue.
Freudian slip.
Or was it? And Wisconsin Congressman Sean Duffy announced he's one of the 15 Republicans leaving the House. He's here with his wife, Rachel Campos Duffy, to reveal the complications with their unborn child that has him leaving office. Plus, the very first View Your Deal of season 23. The House of Hot Topics is in session with Whoopi, Abby Huntsman, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, and Meghan McCain. Now, let's get things started.
Just days to go before Thursday night's Democratic debate, which is happening here on ABC, Senator Kamala Harris is under fire for using and apologizing for something she said. It was a reaction to a question in New Hampshire at a town hall. Take a look.
What are you going to do in the next 1 year to diminish the mentally retarded action of this guy?
Well said.
I heard him talk about the other stuff, and then that came later, and it was not something that I really heard or processed or, or in any way condoned. That's for sure.
Now, could she have handled it better, or was this a rookie mistake? And I guess I should explain to people, saying the word mentally retarded as in a derogatory fashion is a no-no, and really saying it at all is a no-no. And I guess people don't realize that. So maybe if you don't like somebody's policies or something, you don't like what they do, maybe call them boneheaded or ridiculous or butt of things to be said outside of that. So, and we've been told not to say it more than once.
Yeah.
So, was this a rookie mistake?
Well, she claims that she didn't hear it. The guy had an accent. It's possible that she misunderstood what he said. It's possible. And, unhinged, we could call Donald, incompetent.
There's a lot of stuff, yeah.
But you know what?
Moronic.
Right, there's all kinds of stuff, right.
I personally feel like we are in a race to bring back the soul of this country.
Yes.
I want character back again. So whether it's calling Trump names or whether it's a rookie mistake or not, I think this was a moment for her to show her character. And it reminded me of a time when your dad was running, Meghan, and a moment I think none of us will ever forget when someone was saying some rude things about Obama, and he said, no, don't say that. Obama's a decent man. And I think these are moments when we look at our political leaders. Do we want them to be examples for us and for our children coming up?
Well, but that example it was true. Obama is a decent man. This guy is not.
But that's all.
I mean, look, the truth shall set you free.
I think that certainly she said either I didn't hear it or I didn't process it, and that sometimes happens, that you wish you would have responded in a better way. But I think she's getting so much flack for not handling it in a way that in handling it a better way. But all of these candidates have had these gaffes, especially Joe Biden. He gets a pass all the time for these gaffes. Donald Trump gets a pass all the time.
Made fun physically of a handicapped person.
Of disabled people, and she's actually the only candidate that has a real plan for people with disabilities, and she had that, she rolled that out last month. And so I think it's sort of, you know, to not give this candidate a pass, not a pass, but she's getting so much flack for words that she didn't even say, I think says a lot about where we are in this race right now, because the men get passes every single time, every single time, especially Joe Biden. We've given him a pass really at this table very, very often.
I think Joe Biden has gotten a pass. I think Joe has gotten a pass at this table because at least a couple of us actually know him.
Yeah, well, I know Kamala, and I think she's a very decent person that, again,
I think it's just surprising given her background too, but I was saying in the meeting this morning, there's two kinds of candidates traditionally, ones that do well on prompters and in speeches that are written for them, a la Obama, and people that do well off the cuff in town halls and really feed off energy. She's clearly not someone who's doing well feeding off the energy and spur of the moments when you have to react. So I think it's something she has to get stronger at, because her crowds are only going to get bigger, and then it's going to be a hot topic on the show. I think we can debate gender, you know, who's getting what passed for whatever reason. But in 2010, President Obama signed Rosa's Law, which required the federal government to replace the word mental retardation with intellectual disability. My mother is a special needs teacher. I've always, my entire life, I'm almost 35 years old, I've known that that's not a word you can say. I just assumed if you're running for president, you would know that too. I think my problem with her is she could have said, I totally messed up. I was exhausted. It's the campaign trail. I'm so sorry. I have this bill that's going to help people with disabilities, and move on. It's the doubling down of I didn't hear. She clearly heard. Nobody's stupid. There's video of it. And you got to get better on the campaign trail in front of a live audience. We're in front of a live audience every day. People screw up when we say dumb things. It's okay. Just move on and apologize, unlike our president, who's unable to do that.
Thank you.
And I think, but she also did apologize.
But after she said, but she did hop to it. She didn't say I screwed up. I heard it. I screwed up.
And she said she didn't hear it right.
Yeah,
I don't believe
she apologized.
Well, guess what? We weren't there. This is why I love the primary system, because people go in listening to these candidates thinking I'm either going to like them better or worse.
That's true.
Based off of how they interact with me. And Megan and I, you've been through far more than I have, but I've been through these town halls too. And that's why they matter, because they get to make that judgment call. They get to talk to them one-on-one. We weren't there. So let them make the judgment.
I'm happy it still exists. Like the town halls and live, people deserve to see their candidates one-on-one, asking them questions face-to-face. I'm glad it's not something that's gone by the wayside, quite frankly.
And actually, I've messed up, because there are lots of stuff I didn't know were off the table as well.
Mistakes happen.
But mistakes do happen, and you know, we're in a society. I know we have to go. I know, but we're in a society where what you say does matter, and we are so we micromanage everything to the detriment sometimes, I think, of real people.
Yeah.
Because none of us walk on water. And, well,
some of
maybe.
us. You know, do you remember when Obama was president, how he spoke so cautiously all the time?
Those days are long gone, my friend.
He was very aware.
Yeah, he was there have been a lot of great orators, you know, and they've all screwed up as well. We'll be right back.
Desperate Huffman? Felicity Huffman makes her case to stay out of prison for her role in the college admission scandal. Why she's blaming the stress of trying to be a good mom. Congressman Sean Duffy and wife Rachel Campos Duffy share the very personal reason he's leaving politics behind. And get ready for the very first View Your Deal of season 23.
Felicity Huffman wrote a letter to the court in a bid to avoid prison time for her role in the college admission scandal. She cops to breaking the law, says there's no justification for doing it, but said she was so afraid of being a bad mom that she believes she was just giving her daughter a fair shot. She says she realizes the irony of her actions. Now, you know, there are, you know, lots of folks that talk about black women who have had the same feeling and used an uncle's address or an aunt's address to give their kids a step up. And so, you know, I don't know how the judge is going to receive that. What do you think? I'll ask you first because you know lots of judges, I assume.
I know a few. The case that you were referring to, Whoopi, was a black woman in Bridgeport, Connecticut, who was actually homeless and living in her van. And she put down an address in Norwalk, Connecticut, for her 5-year-old son to attend kindergarten. She was in prison for 5 years for doing that. For 5 years.
Yeah.
Felicity Huffman, the prosecutors are recommending 1 month, and she's saying that that is too much time. That is not too much time, I think, because she's arguing really that this is a victimless crime, and it isn't, because another kid didn't get into that school. Her kid took a seat that another kid deserved, and that's the problem. She, you know, changed the life of someone else that was more deserving of the spot. And I think that's the problem. And the other problem, and judges know that, and this judge has to send a message to the community that this is not right. She had wealth, privilege, and platform.
She's
she didn't
rich,
use it appropriately.
she's entitled, and she tried to game the system.
Yeah.
Them's the facts.
Yeah.
And this whole rap that the husband's giving about how hard it was to be a mother or something.
Yeah, that's what he
welcome
said.
to the club, okay? Who wrote that speech?
Yeah.
It's like out of Desperate Housewives.
Yeah.
But struggling to be a mom doesn't mean you break the law. Like, I had a hard time even understanding what the hell William H. Macy's talking about. So, like, I'm the only person at this table who's not a mom. I have a lot of fears about possibly becoming a mother. I don't think that makes you bribe someone to break the law. Like, I don't understand the logical connection. They are the poster children for what everyone hates about white privilege, and she deserves to go to jail.
So that's...
You know the other problem that I saw with her husband's letter?
I'm sorry, for a long period of time, for over a month.
Yeah, for over a month. The other problem I saw with his letter is he says something about how the FBI came in the morning with guns drawn and how his other daughter still can't sleep at night. And he sort of makes this argument that we're not that kind of criminal. So it's yet again this sort of privilege, like, don't treat us like that. Well, you are a criminal.
Yeah.
You've pled guilty, and that's not going to ring well for the judge either. I mean, what kind of criminal are you? Shouldn't you be treated the same as any other criminal?
So if you weren't following, by the way, it was her husband that was trying to help defend her, and he said motherhood from the very beginning frightened Felicity, and she has not carried being a mom easily, which I found a little
No more William H. Macy stuff with motherhood. It's not good for me.
But I will say she's handled this better than Lori Loughlin. I don't know if we've heard from her yet, but remember she was shown, you know, taking photos, selfies, and all those things. At least Felicity has said, I made a mistake.
That's true.
This was wrong. And I'm not here to defend her at all, but there's nothing else to say other than I want to do everything I can to help my kid, and it was wrong. It ended up being worse for the kid.
Into it, and your anxieties about motherhood.
And the other thing is, let us all remember that as many of us when we were children, you didn't do that. You did the work, and you got what you got. You didn't, this was called at one time, and call me crazy, I hope it's not a bad word, at one point this was called cheating.
Yeah, not a bad
So, I'm just saying, you know, and we allow a lot of cheating. And that's why a lot of schools are, you know, having trouble now because they can't stem the tide of kids cheating in school. Well, we've made it okay for them, so maybe it's time to take that back and start, you know, making consequences matter. We'll be right back.
This Thursday night, the stakes are high. The Democrats debate. Now it's down to 10 candidates taking to the stage for one critical night. The ABC debate. This Thursday, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific on ABC.
I was just talking to a young lady in the audience. I was saying, because she's going away overseas, I said, bring candy. Bring candy you like.
Yeah.
Because you're going to say, oh, I wish I had it now and later, and then you will not find that.
That's right. So the food is very different.
Well, it's not all different, but the candy, you're going to want that flavor. I'm just saying, bring your own candy.
Yeah.
But here's something really strange. A woman wrote into Dear Abby after her husband lost his wedding ring in an airport conveyor belt. And
on purpose?
And then he just was like, well, there it goes. And it wasn't like a big deal. She says she's devastated because he's a romantic guy. They have a great relationship, but she can't get past the fact that he was okay with losing that ring. Maybe he wants you to get a different one. Maybe he wants platinum instead of the gold. I don't know. I wouldn't sweat it. Would any of you?
Yes.
You would?
Yeah, of course.
I don't like it. I know for a time, you know, Manny, he had to scrub in every day. And so he was like, I'm just not going to wear my ring.
Yeah.
I was like, nah. I think it's very confusing, not for me, but for the single women that are out there.
Wow.
Because I remember being single, and it was one of the first things I looked for.
Right, but so you don't think your husband would say he was married?
Yes, he would.
Oh, okay, so what's the problem?
But it's very confusing.
Exactly.
For these single women out there that are...
Because they
don't
would
like
say,
it.
hey, and he'd say married.
Nah, I
That
don't
doesn't
like
stop
it.
women, Whoopi. We know that.
Well, I
Not
mean...
always.
I don't like it.
But
Not always.
the husband, but see, this is when you're saying, what you're saying to me is you don't trust him to do what he's supposed to do.
No, I trust him.
No, you don't.
I don't like it.
See, we have the opposite problem in my house.
See,
I don't like it.
I don't have
What,
any
Joe?
issue with this because how are you going to top this, okay? Ring, no ring, meaningless.
My
He ties it on his
actually,
scrubs
we
now.
just had an argument about this the other
I don't
day.
disagree. You're a dish and a
That's
cat's
true.
joy.
And
I
Steve
mean,
knows that.
you're
Where's he
lucky.
Steve's going nowhere. No, but
So
I have
what,
the
you
opposite
just
problem.
argued
Well,
about
I
this?
know where he is 24/7.
Really? Poor thing.
Where's he going?
We love Steve. I don't wear my ring very much.
Right.
I hate jewelry. So my husband and I had this argument 2 days ago because I was going to take Isabel to the park, and on the weekends it's full of dads with their kids because the
Right.
moms are home. And he's like, "You gonna wear your ring?" And I was like, "Well, no, I don't."
Oh, you don't wear yours.
I just don't like jewelry.
I don't like
I
that.
hate
You
jewelry. I
don't.
never wear
Yeah.
anything. But it's a trust thing.
Let me see what
My
you have.
husband, by
So,
the way,
but
if
you
he
have
ever did
this.
wear a ring, I'd
You have
flip.
this, yeah.
But I always just wear a band. I'm not a big jewelry person.
Yeah.
Well,
It doesn't mean I don't love my husband.
But you don't like
or that I'm
wearing
not
that
committed
either?
to him.
You don't like wearing that?
I just don't like any jewelry.
No, she's not a
But see,
jewelry
honey, I'm
person.
so committed. I am wearing my band today.
Well, I just, you know, I am not the marrying kind. So
She found out.
I found out.
You tried a few times.
I did. But I will tell you, ring or no ring, that confidence in your partner's got to be there, whether they have that ring on or not. And if you don't believe that he's not gonna say, "Excuse me, back off me. I am a married man." You know that, but now you're coming on me anyway. That's what you want.
He
That's
gotta wear
what
the
you
ring.
got. Yeah, that's that. No trust. We'll be back. Hey now. It was a huge weekend at the U.S. Open. The biggest hot topic on the court was Bianca Andreescu's stunning victory against Serena Williams on Saturday night. And she is here. She's here to do a victory lap right now. Hey, Bianca!
Congratulations!
Yeah.
You're amazing.
Thank you. You guys are amazing.
Incredible.
It's crazy being here right now.
So you're 19, and you find out you're going to play one of your idols, one of the greatest ever played. First thought.
I was so nervous. I mean, there were so many thoughts going through my head and so many emotions going through my body. I was just really impressed with how I dealt with everything. I kind of got a sense of how I would feel because I played her in Toronto in the finals.
Right.
So I kind of managed my emotions a little bit better. And then when I stepped on the court, I was just in the zone right from the start. I stuck to the right tactics, and I'm really, really happy right now.
Yeah, and it was really kind of extraordinary to watch. And congratulations to Canada also. You know, 'cause this is the first time they've gotten this. It's really fabulous. Congrats, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
So my husband and I were watching, and we were actually surprised. The crowd was overwhelmingly rooting for Serena. It was very loud. You could hear it from the other side. At one point, you even covered your ears to drown out the cheers. How did you keep that from getting into your head? And you even apologized when you won, saying, "I'm sorry, you wanted Serena to win."
Yeah, that's such a Canadian thing to do. But yeah, I could barely hear myself think out there. The crowd is crazy, but that's what makes US Open so special in New York. It's the fans, it's the atmosphere. So I'm glad with how I managed to just not let anything distract me. I was literally in the zone. Like I said, I just fought until the end. I know she came back in the second set as expected. That's why she's a true legend of this sport, and having that opportunity to play against her, above all, she's just a kind person. So I'm really grateful for that experience.
That's nice. That's nice. The sisterhood is strong.
Yes, it is.
But you know, you're Canadian, but your parents emigrated from Romania, right?
Yes.
And you credit them with your incredible composure under stress. It's a very stressful thing that you do. Tell us about that and your parents.
Yeah, my parents, I don't even know where to start with them. We've been through so much together in this short period of time. I started playing tennis when I was 10 years old, and I've dreamt of this moment ever since then. And
that's actually pretty old.
I know. 9 years to get to this point.
Yeah.
9 years, yeah. And this is
what immigration, by the way, this is what immigration brings you.
Yeah. Is it a game that you played did you practice every day? Because 9 years is not that much time to get to this level.
Unless you're that good.
Yeah, but I mean, to develop that skill. Is it just something that you were very passionate about, or you just...
I was so passionate, and I still am, and I hope to be for as long as I can. It would be incredible to play at the age of 38 like Serena is, and even Roger Federer right now, and then Nadal. He still has the same passion as he did when he won his first Grand Slam, and I really strive to be like that.
And you had your good luck charm in the box, Coco, your dog, who was the cutest one in the audience.
Backstage over there.
Look at Coco.
Who was that?
Yeah, she's the cutest little thing ever.
I can't let you go without signing a few tennis balls for our audience here, and then maybe...
Oh, a head racket, too.
All righty. Put you to work, huh?
Yeah, I thought I wasn't going to see this for a while. I should get off.
Our thanks to Bianca Andreescu. Look forward to seeing you many more times on the court.
I really hope so.
It was a real pleasure
Thank
to
you.
watch you. Congratulations. We'll be right back.
What did Congressman Sean Duffy and his pregnant wife, Rachel Campos Duffy, learn about their unborn child that made him announce he's leaving office? They're both live on The View next.